Hi, and welcome back to another video of Derail Valley. So, in the last video, we kind of got the rundown from the sawmill all the way to harbor. So, what are we going to do today? Well, the only thing I actually can do is freight haul. And I believe I'm at a max of 240. And it wouldn't be such a big deal, but to try this one, but it would have to be almost flat or entirely downhill. And I'm just not going to make it to Forest South, because it's a bit of an upgrade, and well, otherwise I'd be tempted to try it, but I know it's not going to work. So I'm going to set this one up here. This one I can't do. I don't have those licenses. That's a lot of licenses. All the way to City South, just right there. Daggum. Okay. This one I can do. Probably can't do that. I'd like to try it, but I'm just not going to do that yet. So this requires a fragile license. Different licenses. And I am a bit of a, not really a neat freak, but also requires fragile. I like to kind of organize what I can and cannot do, mostly because, well, it just makes it a lot easier on me. Okay, so I have these two here. So I can take this one to Iron Ore Mine West, which is all the way pretty much across the map. And it's only 180 tons, so it wouldn't be that bad. Or I could do a simple one and just go from here to there. A third the distance. Actually, it's only about half the distance for a third the pay. I think I'm going to go with this one. But I'm not going to do that right now. So I believe there's 5 of those, and they're excavators. I believe I seen those earlier over here. Let me get up here and make sure there's only 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So I'm going to have this one to the right. Follow this all the way up here. And make sure that we turn to the right, go all the way down, to the right. Okay. I hate when I do that, I accidentally tap the button. Okay, here we are. So let's go. Ah! A museum one. Awesome. I don't have the license, but I'm glad I know where this is at. That tickles me to death. I looked over, was like, man, that train doesn't look good at all. I was like, oh, it's a museum train. So a museum train is... Okay, see, I'm not going to be able to take this one. Okay, not a big deal. This is one thing I hate, is getting prepared for the next day. Not being able to see anything. Because I haven't bought the flashlight yet. Which I really need to do. Okay. Cool. So, go ahead and turn all these breakers on. And let me check and see exactly where I'm at. Oh, never mind. I know where I'm at. Okay, so I'm right here. So what I can do is I can back up here, pull forward, and that'll have me facing the right way. Alright, that'll work. That'll work just fine. So let's go ahead, get pulled forward. And turn these on in the back too, because we're gonna need it. And the switch is just right there, which is great. Don't have to spend a lot of time. Oh, let me open the valve. Okay. So, turn the throttle off, independent brake on, switch. Yep. A little too much brake for what I actually needed, but it'll be alright. Open up the station map, and we will see we're coming this way, so we'll need to go to the left, then we can pull forward and then back up all the way there. Then we'll sleep through the night, and we will get loaded in, or loaded up then tomorrow morning, after I make sure it's the right ones, because I can about guarantee that there's probably another set somewhere, which would be my luck. Another set of 5 excavators. Like I said in the first video, I have done that more times than I really care to share. There's actually 2 times in a row that I did that. And also, if this is turned to the left and I'm coming from the right side and I'm merging onto this track, it will automatically turn to what I need it to be. So have no fear there. And in the future, I'm probably going to skip this step in the recording. I'm probably not going to show it. But I just wanted to give an example of what I'm going to do, and if I start the video, how I'm already loaded up and how I already know what I'm going to do, and just as an example. And I'm not exactly sure, but I am going to turn this thing off before I go to sleep, because I'm not sure if sleep actually takes fuel as it sits there and idles throughout the night, or how that works. But I'm not going to take a chance either. I know my luck. It's not that great. Nope. So something you can do too, if it has, because as you notice when I put it in first gear, it puts the ammeters up, and what you can do is you can put your brake on, put it into first gear, and slowly let off, and it will not go up as much, I don't think. Keep in mind, as I say, as I merge onto, it will turn. So it's turned to the left now, and watch as we go over. There you go, it turned by itself. Dadgummit. I forgot we still had to come back through this one, so I forgot to change it. As I said, I know my luck. See how it goes up? And it won't necessarily do that every time. It's just depends on the situation. So, alright, let's go ahead and brake. Try this again. And if you turn this as I'm passing it, like let's say it gets to right here and I turn it and I have cars behind me, they will try to go on that track. This game does not play. Alright, so let's back up and make sure. There we go. So this is turned to the left now. This is also turned to the left. Get to E. Turn to the left, left, left. And finally that one is turned to the right. So we should be good to go. And again, I already know where I'm going, where my destination will be. So worst come to worst, this is not it. I'm already facing the right direction. So it's not a major deal, but it's something that does help with saving time, and you know, getting there sooner gets you a lot more cash. I think one of the fastest runs I've seen, a guy got like a 70% bonus of the full base job. Well, of course, that was on YouTube and not me. So we'll just have a nice little bump into him here. Come on. Oh. I turned it off entirely. Alright. So let's go ahead and turn our lights off. And fuel cut off. Throw the breakers. And we will go to sleep somewhere right there. Nope. Right there. And usually till about 5 or 6 in the morning. It's going to be a long trip. Let's go 5. So we'll sleep for 5 hours. You don't have to sleep in the game. I just enjoy doing it because I don't like driving at night. Okay. So it's still dark out. The sun's about to come up. Alright. So for $34,900, 180-ton train to the Iron Ore Mine West. Grab this and ensure that I'm good to go. So E20, which I believe is, yep, that is exactly where I had it. So those are the same cars. And again, if you don't want to prepare yourself, you don't want to have to do all this before you accept the job, you don't have to. It's entirely optional. It just helps a little bit. So hop in here, turn everything on. Turn the starter on. Valve pipe on. There we go. And every time you sleep, your park brake does reset. So do you keep that in mind? Alright, connect the train up here. And okay, good. I was gonna make this point anyway. This is to the left. So this is not the one that's set, so it'll be this far end one right here. So we'll go ahead and do this, set that up. Way too far. Way too far. Alright. So we're good. We're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the lights on. Not that we really need it, but it'll probably help. So brakes are off. Everything's good. Alright. Now let's look at our map. So I believe the fastest way is going to go back the way we came. And instead of taking a right and going back to the sawmill, going across the farm, I believe it'll be faster if we, you know, join back in, take a left here, go past City West, a very sharp corner right there, then shoot up past manufacturing goods. So let's take a look. Iron Ore Mine West, B2I, and before we mess with the station map, how to get there, let's go to the route map. Now it looks a little different, and I mean honestly it's just easier to do it like this. So find your station and find your location. It's going to try and put it relatively close to where it's at on the map. So what we're going to do is we're going to go right, and then which way is it from here? So a little confusion. I know that it's this way, right? So we're gonna go, we need to go to the right, which will take us up here. It's gonna be a left, and then another left. Right after we merge, it'll be in another immediate left. We're gonna come down, take another right, a left, come over, take a right. We're gonna come into City West, up, it'll be a left, and then stay straight. I have to look at the map to double check on this one, I'm not sure, but oh no, I'm sorry, the ball's at the other position, so the ball's coming down. The ball is the entrance, and then you'll follow that way out. Okay, so we'll ignore that, it doesn't matter either way. And then we'll get to Iron Mine West. So, first things first, we need to get some speed up. We'll get there eventually. It's probably going to be about an hour-long video, but we'll make it. Okay. And I will mention this, these can change. You don't have to move your lever up or down for this to go up, or your temperature. If you're hauling too much or having an issue, there's a reason. Sometimes it's hard to figure it out, sometimes it's super easy to figure it out. Like I say, speed limit's 5 and we're at 35 right now. So we'll throw it up in gear. Alright. Not doing too bad, and unfortunately there is not an alert for if something happens and something derails. You kind of just have to pay attention to how the train feels and how everything sounds. So, of course, you know, it's kind of as much of an audio game as it is a visual one. And you can always stick your head out, take a look. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that one's turned the other way. I was gonna say I only see 4 cabs. I was freaking out for a half second. We're good. Crisis averted. And if you'll notice, in this book, it all shows them going the same way. That has no meaning. It's just an overall thing. Now, I don't know if the cargo can fall off, but the trains can derail. I know they can tip over if they're too heavy. If you damage them, and let's say it's full of fuel, right? Well, it can start leaking out, and if it catches fire, it can literally burn everything. It can cause the tankers to explode. There's quite a bit that goes into it, a lot more physics than people realize. And just like any good plumber says, crap runs downhill, so does all the fluids in the game. So, getting a little high here. So if it goes into the yellow, it's possible for a wheel slip. If it hits the red, your wheels are going to slip 100% guaranteed. And for the temperature gauge, yellow, you're going to start damaging your traction motor and your wheels a little bit more. you get into the red, you're damaging them a lot. Same thing with the engine, pretty much everything. Now what it means on these other gauges is you're just getting low. For your brake pipe, by the way, I'm going to do that just to show you the sound difference. And if I have this door open and I shut this door, it's not going to make a difference. But the red is your current brake pressure setting, and the black is your air pressure. And this is your main reservoir tank. It starts flashing, anything starts flashing, something's going on. Either you're running low or you've got other issues. Now, let's go ahead and look. As I said before, oh, sorry, wrong one. You can start running into issues where if you didn't change it from last time, it's possible you hit the wrong one and you'll end up flying into a bunch of train cars, causing explosions. I'm not going to say I've done that. I have, but I'm not going to admit it. So we can go ahead and check out how everything is located through here, and we'll go through everything real quick. Just a quick look. So CP is up there. It's coal power plant. We're gonna pass right by it, if I'm not mistaken. And let's see, City West. So we come in from the bottom right here, and we're going to take this right. We'll take another right. Yes, and then another right, which we don't have to worry about this one. And we'll go on through, and then finally we'll get to Iron Mine West, which will tell us... Okay. You know, there's only one section here for us to really pull into, so don't really have to worry about it. But I will go and look. Where does it want us to go to? Iron Mine West is B2I. So we'll be coming in from... I believe the east. Yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the west. I knew what I was saying, I just couldn't process it. We'll go ahead and slow down just a hair. So we do have an interchange on the other side, and it should be perfectly fine, but just in case it's not. And that's something you kind of want to get used to, because the maps are a little different. And everything works, and like I say, just a little different than... Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the next one. So we'll come in from the east, west, did it again, and we'll go to B2I. So we'll go right, and everything should be to the right, and then here we'll turn left. So now in theory, again, theory, everything should be right. Now, will it be? Probably not. Ain't how my luck goes. So again, here, this one should be left alone, and it should be to the left, and it is. So it's 6 this way. 7, and do we have a positive grade? We have a positive grade of 1.1. We'll go ahead and speed back up. Don't want to do too much at once like that, but it's not going to be a big issue. we'll be getting there eventually. And now, if you look at the map, we're pretty much going to be on the straightaways, and then this should be automatically set up. I could be wrong and need to hit the brakes real quick to be able to back up and get back on track, fix it. But for now, we should be perfectly fine to full speed. Shouldn't have many issues. We're going to cut the lights off. Back it down in the air. So like I say, if you do accidentally go the wrong way, it's not a big deal. Throttle down, turn on your brake, back up, switch it, and continue on. It's not a big deal, but it can cost you time, especially if you're in a time crunch. But I don't want to have to rush the whole way, so I am trying to stay a little bit ahead. You don't always have to brake, just like they taught us in driving school. You don't always have to brake. Every little bit you need to slow down. You can just let off the throttle, and then if you need to brake, not a big deal. Okay, we're about 67 kilometers an hour. So it's 8 and the speed limit does increase. So we'll go ahead and speed on up here. Still got all our cars, we're good. So, like I say, we're still on a little bit of a straightaway, not a big deal. We can kind of run wide open through here. Going down to 9, and we're actually at 8, so I am going to go ahead and slow down, because we're going to have to slow down quite a bit once we get up here. Put the throttle about there. And again, just because the speed limit hasn't changed doesn't mean around the corner it's not going to drop significantly. That is one of the game's specialties, changing. Yeah, changing speeds pretty fast. So we'll apply a little bit of brake, and it's going to slow us down a little bit, not a lot. But just to show you, you don't have to put on a bunch of brake at the beginning. You know, we're passing 70 and it drops to 7. We are slowing down, and most areas where you're turning, the speed limit's 4 or 6, so we're going to go ahead and drop down to about right here, and we'll let off the brake. We're gaining just a little bit more speed here, which I believe we should be good. And because there are a lot of switches right here, I am going to go ahead and pull out our comms radio just to make sure. Okay, yes, we are pointed in the right direction. So it's 5 with a 1.3% grade. We'll just try and go up through here and get everything done. Like I say, every type of train, like the DE2, the S6 282 maybe. Anyway, each version of the train, there is a museum train of it, which does not despawn, which means if I park it right here on this bridge and I am Oh, sorry. And I am, let's say, right here, and I forget about it, and I come down. I don't know if they stay highlighted all the time. I believe they do, but I could be wrong. And I come through here and I slam into the back of it. Well, that's just going to cause issues. So, do keep that in mind. Really pretty through here. Speed limit's dropping up here to 5. I'm gonna go ahead and slow down. Let's put a little more brake into it. And it drops on down to 4. So we'll go ahead and put a little more brake on. Like I say, from City Southwest on up to Iron Mine West, it's a pretty straight shot. Not a whole lot going on. So, oh, I've dropped down to 30. Something you got to pay attention to. Pay attention to too is braking. It might not do a lot at first, but it will eventually slow you down a little bit faster and a little bit faster. Or it could not slow you down at all. Possibilities are endless. So this up here should be a right, then a left. And honestly, I can't remember how City West is set up. Come in, take a right, and I believe it's another right, and then we get back on the line. For some reason, I was thinking it just automatically came in and then you turn, but I could be wrong. So we'll kind of have to watch as we go through City Southwest, and we'll have to watch our speed because it is pretty dangerous sometimes. I've derailed there a lot when I was first playing. So we going to the right, speed limit is 30. I'm slowing on down. Alright. Don't want to slow down too much. We're about 35 and there's this 0.7% grade, so we should be good there. Shouldn't be a major deal. Yeah, we're good. We're great. And it is to the left. So I've done everything pretty correctly thus far. Does not mean I've done everything right, but I can promise you I tried to do it right, at least. Okay, speed limit's 5. Throw some more throttle on. Maybe not a whole lot because we do have to slow down up here. All right. Now up here is our intersection, and I believe it's around a right-hand corner. So I want to. Yep, we're facing the right direction. Like I say, there's not really a whole lot of times in this game where you can really go through and kind of just walk away and let it run. It really keeps you on your toes. And it's really good for making you second guess things in the heat of the moment. So like I say, I believe I have it correct that I'm going the right way. I have the settings, so normally it'll just pass you right through everything, and I did have to change one, so I am kind of going to stay on top of that for a minute. I'm going to let off the throttle here. Okay, to the right and to the right. So yes, I did make the correct call. Terrific. Speed limit's 30 right here, and here is that sharp corner. I back off the throttle. And now pretty much from here on out, we're gonna be a little wheel slip maybe? No. We're gonna be in a spot to where speed limit's just gonna stay fairly high. So not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. But I do also want to keep track of everything, make sure everything's not getting too hot. You know, things like that. Like I say, here's a spot where you could walk away for a minute as long as you know the train, you know how it's gonna do. I set it at a certain throttle position, it'll stay that speed all the way up through here. So we should be good. Shouldn't have anything to worry about. And I am going to stand up and stretch for a moment. I'm going to be standing right here, but just in case. I believe 12 kilometers an hour is the max speed limit in the game. I'll be honest, I can't remember. So we're dropping down from 8. Alright, to 6, so yeah, I need to slow down. Just us letting off the throttle is already slowing us down quite a bit, so I don't really need to apply any brake. Because we are going uphill. So we're going to the left, everything's great there. Oh, wrong way. Trying to keep a good speed though, because if I'm not mistaken, I think everything is more or less uphill from here. Apparently not. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Teach me to say something else. So we are about to go through the coal power plant, and then we'll shoot up through manufacturing. I always want to be on edge when I'm going through somewhere. The straight shot lines should be, like I say, in order. Shouldn't have to worry about it, but I don't want to take a chance. So let's go ahead and just double check everything up here to the right. All right, we're fine, not a problem. Okay, let's go ahead and turn that throttle back up because we have a minute until we get to manufacturing. Man, that is such a beautiful view. Although I would really hate to be the one to have to build this bridge. Oh man. Make it from rock, but make it to where it can hold a heavy train too. Not my specialty. Here's a good example. So we're going from 120 kilometers an hour to 9 kilometers an hour, and the speed limit drops up ahead even more. So, and we just came from 6 at that intersection to another 6. And as I say, I am going to flip through real quick just to make sure. Everything should be fine. To the right, to the left, to the right. And then don't have to worry about those. Try to keep an eye on the main line, make sure there's nothing there. Again, I haven't had that problem, but I said I haven't had that problem, and I'm assuming I'm not going to have that problem. So I'm probably going to have that problem. I love the weather and the day-night cycle. It just makes it for me. I mean, I love it. Truthfully, I love it. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. We'll go ahead and go back to full speed. Oh, there's some more. A couple D2s, D6s. And every station has the chance, which, you know, there's only one of every museum train, which you can fix up and use, but there's only one of those throughout the entire map. So there's one D2, one D6, one S282, 262, whatever it is. So beware. And I don't remember what's right there, but once we get up here and get unloaded and finish, I want to come back and look at that. Now, other trains are more suitable to go up to higher speeds. Obviously, this one's max should be 80 or 85. 90, you're getting into dangerous areas, and we're going to start speeding up a lot through here. Apply a little brake. Negative 1.7, apply a little more brake. And we're staying fairly constant, so I believe that might be where you go to the barn to get. I ain't gonna lie, that scared me for a half second. Okay, 5, 5, 5, 5. So we're gonna drop down in speed here. And you'll learn the speed limits after a while. there are several people who I've watched who know pretty much where every speed limit is. They know where to slow down, they know where they can speed up, they know where they can more or less make do, where they can get away with things, you know. So there's that dreaded sound. Let's try not to use the train here. Our map back up. All right, we have a hairpin turn, and we should be there. So, run through the tunnel. Get a little speed up. I think we're going uphill here. I wasn't paying attention to the signs. And we should be on course to pull right in where we need to go. And let me double check. That was B2I. Okay. Now, when you get to your destination station, I always recommend going about 30 or maybe 40. I usually like to go about 30 kilometers an hour. So I am gonna go ahead, back off the throttle, and that's why right there. Yep, I miscalculated something. Oh, not good. Oh no. Yep. Must have hurt. Don't worry about the damage. You're insured. Pay the small copay at the career management later, and all the damage fees will be cleared. Well, that's great. Well, I hit the bridge. That's what saved everything from going down. I must have missed one. Must not have been paying attention. What did I do? Iron Mine West. Well, there's not even a thing here. Oh. I'm an idiot. Yep. I didn't pay attention to this one. Well, not a big deal. Like I say, right now we have a low copay anyway. 71.9%. Broke all the windows and everything. That just shut it off. It didn't kick no breakers. Alright. Not a big deal. Yeah, let me fix this. Turn the brakes off. But you see how I threw every brake I had on, right? That's all that you can do. I mean, truthfully. S282. Okay, that's what it was. 282. So let me just kind of run and check. I don't think anything derailed. I know our train did derail. We just had a rough sudden stop, which happens. And if you'll notice, it is damaged. It is moving a little slower. Even if I shut the doors, the sound's still fairly loud from the engine because, well, I don't have any windows left. Nope. No, I don't have a full one. Wait. Yeah, okay, this one's not broke, so that's good. Oh, neither one of the doors are. Awesome. Well, that makes me feel good about myself. Make sure you're at a full stop before you switch directions. Okay. So we'll definitely see what it could have costed me had I not been low on the copay fee. And B2I, correct? Yes, B2I. Okay, so right here, not a big deal, not a big deal. Just a bit of a pain. Alright, well, they will be happy with their new shipment of... This bothers me. Why are these blocking the road? This bothers me. Anyway. So, let's go ahead and turn a little bit of brake on. Don't need a whole lot. Just enough. And like I say, we'll stop by ourselves. But, just to show you something else you can do. If you're ever on a car on a hill and it gets disconnected, turn that brake on and, I mean, you see how much it helps. Okay. Air, disconnect, loosen, I guess, disconnect. And I don't know exactly where it's at, so look at the station map here. Page A, and it's over here. Oh, it's right there. Oh, okay. So, turn in the order. And completed, $34,098. And we got 52,000. Oh, that's gonna buy us a lot. I might have made this game a little too easy. Well, I guess let's go ahead and pay our fees and see what everything could have costed me. So fees, $29,000 is what that could have costed me. So go ahead and pay it. We only have to pay $100. Praise the Lord. Confirm. All right, let's go down to licenses and let's see. I want to get several things I can get. Now, I can get the museum for 15, pay 20, that's 35,000. And then I can get a couple other things because I have to have manual service before I do museum. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Actually, I can go ahead and buy the S282. But do I really want to do that right now? I don't know. Really, I think for the time being, I'm going to stick with... Do you mind? I'm going to stick with more or less... I think I'm going to stick with multiple unit. And then I think I'm going to buy that. I can't decide. Because if I'm going to switch to the steam train, it'd be better if I go ahead and not purchase multiple unit, because that's not something I need for that. But I can also do train length, but I'm limited by how much I can haul. With the steam train, I won't have that issue, but I don't know. Tell you what, I'll probably decide in the next video, but for now, I want to go back and see what this is. So again, I'll show you how to do it across the map. So look up most of the way and make sure you're going the right way. There we go. Okay, cool. So we're on the rail line. And yes, Old Bob's Garage. Well, apparently I have to buy a key somewhere. Alright, is there a store? No, there's not a store up there. Make sure I'm heading the right way. I am not. Okay. So, what's the plan? Do I swap? Do I not? I don't know. Oh, the things to ponder on. Well, I guess I will see you in the next episode, and for now, I'm going to sit here and argue with myself back and forth until I can decide what I want to do. So, thank you and have a great day. If you wouldn't care to leave a like and a subscribe, I sure would appreciate it. So, have a great day and God bless. Thank you.